Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Roland and I'm your tutor. In this particular video, we'll do the revision of calculations. We'll use certain techniques like addition, subtraction, and division. Long division in particular will be used. So we'll be discussing estimating and rounding. So let's get straight on in. It's an example. Okay, so let's do the addition. I'm going to spend some decent time on this video so you can take time to understand exactly what's happening. Right, so with addition, we know that we've got to just put the numbers on top of each other and add them up in columns. Okay, so we've got 233 plus 708 plus 435. Here's our solution. We say 233, 708, and 435. We start on the right-hand side. We put our plus sign. Right, so we've got 3 and 5 is 8 plus another 8 makes 16. So you put the 6 down and put the 1 at the top of the next column. You then have 1 plus 3, which is 4, plus 3 again, which is 7. We're doing this in green this time. So let's put the 7 down. There's no 10 value, so you don't put anything at the top of the third column. Here we get 13, and we underline it, giving us our answer. Easy game there. Let's move to another problem. Okay, here we have it. Here's our example. Now we're going to be doing subtraction. Okay, with subtraction, it's relatively the same as addition. So we're going to start with an equation of 535 minus 377. Our solution goes as follows. We put 535 above 377. We then put our negative sign on the left and we put a line. There we go. Nice and simple. Now notice something. If we start in the right hand column, you have a 5 minus 7, so you can't do that. You're going to have to take from the left hand side, but you can't take 3 because 3 minus 7 also doesn't work. So you have to take from the 5. You change the 5 into a 4, take that 1 across to the 3, making it 13. You then cut the 13 and make it 12, adding the 1 to the 5. You now have 15 minus 7, giving you 8. You then take 12 minus 7, giving you 5. We do that in red so it's noticeable. We'll then do 4 minus 3, giving you 1. Your answer is 158. Underline it and say easy game. Okay, let's move on to another one. Let's do multiplication this time. Okay, with multiplication, things are very much the same. However, there's a shift every time you do a new multiplication value, but I'll explain that throughout the problem. Alright, so let's do 63 times by 42. Our solution goes as follows. Right, we write the 63 and the 42 on top of each other. We then put the multiplication sign on the bottom left, like so. We then put a line. We start with the right-hand column. We say 2 times 3, and then we say 2 times 6. So 2 times 3 would give you 6, and 2 times 6 would give you 12. I'm doing this in the same color, so you can follow the process. We then add a 0 underneath the first number, which is the 6, and we do the next answer in green. So we say 4 times 3, which is 12, and 4 times 6, which is 24. So 4 times 3 gives you 12, puts the 1 on top of the 6. 4 times 6 is 24, plus the 1 gives you 25. We then put a line down there and we add the numbers together. You get 2646, and you say easy game again. Now let's move on. Let's do long division. If you're unfamiliar with long division, don't worry. I'm going to take my time and make sure that you understand exactly what's happening in these sets of questions. So we have 441 divided by 3, okay? We write 441, we put a line like this, and we put a 3 on the left. Now, does 3 go into 4? Yes, it does. And it goes once. We then say 1 times 3, which gives you 3, and we put that underneath the 4. Alright, it's kind of a circular process. There we go, we multiply the 1 to the 3, we then put that answer underneath the 4. You have 4 and you say 4 minus 3, you put the 3 in a bracket, just explaining everything nice and slowly so you understand exactly what's happening. So 4 divided by 3, you get 1, 1 times by 3, you get 3. You then put your line underneath the 3, you put your brackets around the 3, and you put a negative sign, always. You then realize that 4 minus 3 is 1, you bring the next 4 down, and you say it's 14. Now how many times does 3 go into 14? Well, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, therefore it goes in 4 times, but doesn't go in perfectly. So what do we say? Well, we say it goes in 4 times when you say 14 divided by 3. So we say, there we go, we put the 4 up to the top, because it's 14 divided by 3 is 4 with a remainder. We then say 4 times 3, which is 12. We then multiply the 4 and the 3 together, we take the 12 down, and we put the 12 in brackets with a negative sign on the outside, just like we did with the 3 above. Alright, there we go, there's our line. Let's put the brackets, put a negative sign. And what is 14 minus 12? The answer is 2. We then bring the 1 down and we say 21 is what needs to be divided. We'll do this in yellow so you can follow the flow. So 21 divided by 3 gives you what answer? Well, it gives you a 7. Here we go. 7 times by 3 will give you 21, and then you take that 21 underneath and you say 21, put a brackets with a negative sign and a line, you get the answer of 0. So there are no remainders. Therefore your answer is 147 with no remainders. 441 divided by 3 is equal to 147 with no remainders. There we go. It's nicely highlighted in red. Not easy to miss. There we go. See, long division is not as difficult as it may seem. Make sure it's right, no remainder, because there is no remainder. There we go, we underline it. Easy game. Next one. Now we did the division with only a single number. Let's do a number like 12, for instance. Gets a little bit more complicated, but in actual fact it's actually relatively simple. Alright, let's look at it. Let's do long division by 2 digits. Alright, nice and simple. What are we going to use? Let's solve the following. 384,350 divided by 12. Do not use a calculator. Let's write our solution. Okay, this is where a lot of people get stuck, so just pay attention and you'll really understand this section very quickly. So does 12 go into 3? No, it doesn't. Okay, so with that said, we've got 38. Now, does 12 go into 38? Well, it doesn't go directly into 38, but it does go into 36, and it goes into 36 3 times. So 38 divided by 12 gives you the answer 3. 3 multiplied by 12 gives you 36. Alright, let's write our 36 in green. Put our brackets, put our negative sign, and we put our line. 38 minus 36 is 2. We then bring the 4 down, and we have 24 to be working with. What do we do now? If you can remember from the previous question, we see that we need to take 24 divided by 12 so that we get 2. There we have it, 24 divided by 12 gives you 2. 2 times by 12 gives you 24. You take it to the bottom, you put your brackets, put your negative sign, and then put a line. You get 0. Now, if you can't see clearly, the next number would be 3 coming down. Let's highlight that in red. So we've got the green, the yellow, and now we've got red. Naturally, 12 does not go into 3, so we put a 0. We say 3 divided by 12 gives you 0. 0 times by 12 gives you 0. So we take the 0 to the bottom. We put our brackets. We put a negative sign. We put a next line. We then say 3 minus 0 gives you 3, and we bring the 5 down. Now, let's use a different color for this particular one. We've got 35, and we say 35 divided by 12 gives us what answer? Well, 3 times 12 gives 36, so it must be 2. So let's put 2 down. We then say 2 times 12 gives you 36. Nope, it gives you 24. So you put 24 down there. You then put your brackets, put your negative sign, and then you put your line. Now what's 35 minus 24? It's 11. Now what do? You bring your 0 down. Let's do that step. 0 comes down, and you've got 110. Now, how many times does 12 go into 110? Well, 10 times 12 would be 120, so I'm guessing 9 times 12 would be just under 110. Yes, there we go. Let's put it up. Let's just try 9. Okay, and this is also helping to check your answer. When you put 9 down, you'll then say 9 times by 12 would give you 90 plus 18, which would be 108. Okay, there we go, 108. We put our round brackets, we put a negative sign, and we put our line. This difference between these two is the answer 2. Now we've actually run into a bit of a predicament. What do we do next? Because there's a bit of a remainder. Okay. So we've got 32029, and we say there's a remainder of 2. In future, you'll learn how to change that into a decimal, bringing down a comma and a naught. But for now, just put the remainder value. Alright, therefore our answer for 384350 divided by 12 is equal to the answer above, which is 32029 with the remainder of 2. And there we have it, folks. Easy game.